Stephen A. Snitch is no stranger to controversy. We know that Stephen A. Snitch is, as far as the black community, his name is mud to about 90% of the people. He's constantly selling out the community. He's always saying whenever we go this way, Stephen A. Smith goes this way. He goes out of his way to make his bosses money. These executives over at at ESPN that nobody ever sees, he worship these guys, man. He does anything that they tell him to do. But right now, he's going through something with a powerful W woman. This W woman is upset with Stephen A. Smith, and she's, coming at him every chance that she gets. Now, Stephen A. Smith, he's been endorsing this Solitaire app that ESPN is in business with. And this app is mixed up in a lot of lawsuits with a lot of different people. And Stephen A. Smith is endorsing it. We know that Dan Orlowski is endorsing it. There's a lot of people now. During the NBA Finals, he was seen playing Solitaire. And people was questioning him, saying like, "Yo, why don't you let somebody else come and do the finals if you're going to play Solitaire, right?" Stephen, he don't care, so he responded. He responded to the people at that time, and he says, "Y'all really mad I was playing Solitaire during the finals? Maybe ask yourself why join now." For the first time ever, World Solitaire starting today on Solitaire. Now, we know with everything that's going on right now with all the gambling in the NBA, and there's so much stuff swirling that the feds is uncovering. Everything hasn't come out yet, but we know that major players have been implicated, and even a coach in regards to the NBA. They haven't even got to the NFL, and we know the NFL is the biggest sport in America. It generates the most money. So that if there's gambling schemes going on in the NBA, we can only imagine what's going on in the NFL. But Michelle Beadle, she was questioned about certain things, and she said this.
All the nonsense.
The shilling that's going on amongst our colleagues in this business.
You know what? Let's just get to that right now, because I can't stress this enough. Clearly.
Oh, dear.
Clearly. I don't know how much shilling is going on behind the scenes, but people in our industry have embarrassed themselves in ways that I don't think I've ever seen. Like it is ESPN, a network I've never worked for and clearly have never gonna work for.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't know that, but I got
It might come a day where it's cool again.
I mean, maybe, but it's not cool right now because these guys are shilling out in ways for corporate daddy as they sit there and drink piss and pretend that it's Gatorade nonstop. Well, let's do the fight against YouTube. It's horrible. And now you have them all fighting for solitary ads for Stephen A. Smith, which, by the way, do yourself a favor and Google that Solitaire company who's currently under investigation.
Right now. Currently facing lawsuits over bots and rigged games.
Yep.
Yes, go do.
So,
that brings me joy.
You're being investigated for fraud, and now you have all of these dip just shilling themselves out. But no, not shilling. Let's just call it what it is. Whoring themselves out as harshly as they can.
Because there's a few names in that list that I respect.
Mina. What are you doing, Mina?
I'm doing that.
Dan Orlowski, you're doing exactly what I expected.
I predicted that a lot of these corporate people would be coming to YouTube. At one point, they all was talking trash about YouTube, but they saw that the money that was being made over here, and you had more freedom to say the things that you wanted to say on YouTube. So a lot of them back then was making fun of us YouTubers because we were reporting on them. Now Stephen A. Smith has his own YouTube channel. Michelle Beadle is on YouTube. At one point, all these people were down with the corporate people, right? So now she's saying, she masking her issue she has with Stephen A. Snitch with the Solitaire app. But really, the Solitaire app ain't the issue. That's an issue, but it's not the biggest issue. She has a personal axe to grind with Stephen A. Snitch. Now, there's a lot of people that don't like Stephen A. Snitch because they say he's a corporate butt kisser. He's a corporate bootlicker, right? Now, you see it's 3W folks, and they're going in on a black man. Now, I don't like Stephen A. Snitch, but I also know that Stephen A. Snitch has a lot of power over there, and he's a brown man, right? So how would I know that if they was in Stephen A. Smith's position, they wouldn't be doing the same? They might just be mad because Stephen is black, and he gets to tell those W folks what to do because of his bosses. Now, I'm no fan of Stephen A. Snitch, but I'm also no fan of a lot of these W folks because I know that a lot of them are racist, right? But she showed this to be more personal, right, when she starts saying this.
Laura Rutledge, what are you doing? Dan, we know this is what you would do.
Here's the thing. Here's what bothers me about it, right? And look, there's no secret how I feel about that human. But the guy is making money off of here. ESPN pays him a gazillion dollars
to not work there full time,
to get a lot of stuff wrong and yell, right? And he gets caught playing solitaire during the NBA freaking fight.
The thing that he claims to be a fucking
the thing that he's
genius in.
And so instead of he doubles down and he does this. If I'm ESPN, and I get it. You created this monster. He is bigger than you now. And that's exactly your fault and your fault only. You let him run rampant all over that company and put his face on for everybody who's like, oh, he works so hard. I'm going to let you in on a little behind the scenes. He wants to do that. Nobody's asking him.
He's desperate to do it.
He shows up. I told everyone I work with, I will never share a set with that person, ever, because I don't respect him, and life's too short. The morning of my last day on Get Up, as Greeny was giving me a heartfelt goodbye, and I awkwardly sat there, as I was leaving the set, they started a promo that Stephen A. Smith will be on the show tomorrow. Like, it is him. So let's stop acting like the guy gets worked to death. It's him.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm like, he made you look like fools for handing him a blank check in the first place because he doesn't even give a shit about the stuff that he's paid a gazillion dollars to talk about. And now he's turning around and turning that into a money-making opportunity. Yeah. And the money-making opportunity, turns out it looks like it's a fraudulent crap business to begin with. Honestly, I'm not a religious person, but I pray for the downfall. I really do.
It's going to be amazing.
It's
going to be amazing.
It's gross, man. You got to have principles in this thing. Look, my principles have definitely cost me money. I'm sure they've cost me jobs. I get it, but I don't regret a single one of them.
So listen, she ain't holding back. She's saying she praying for this man's downfall. She ain't playing no games. She don't like that guy. She don't want to go on no sets with him. He's a fake. He's a phony, right? But we finding out that Stephen A. Smith took a lot of her positions that she was in. She had a serious position over there, on Sirius Radio or whatever Sirius. And at some point they announced that Stephen A. Smith will be taking her spot, will be taking her position. So she's voicing her opinion about how she feels about Stephen. Now, a lot of us feel some type of way about Stephen. But this W woman, man, she's calling out ESPN. She's saying a whole bunch of stuff. But let's look at what she had to say, what happened when she started calling him out about him taking her position.
Break that down, but just to let you know, that's the context. Them on air the same day they find out. Uh-oh.
What does that mean? Big what?
Big three, the bad dog.
Oh, you mean, well, if you want 2 hours of Jamal Williams needs to show up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wait, who's Jamal Williams? That's right, a guy who doesn't exist. And by the way, I'll have lots of these fun types of nuggets for you for as long as we remain on the air. Just as like an appetizer, amuse-bouche, if you will. Yeah, we're coming in hot today, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in hot. Yes, so the cat's out of the bag. I guess we're talking about it. We weren't supposed to, just as a heads up. We were only given a few hours notice, but we weren't told any details. We were promised that no details would be released. We didn't even know who was taking our place in the lineup. Just that it was going to be announced that new show was being added. Unbeknownst to us, the Hollywood Reporter, of course, had all the details. So it was a little embarrassing, I'm not going to lie. I've been in this business for 20 plus years. I've been treated poorly a couple times. This didn't feel good. I'm not going to lie.
Now, a lot of things starts to backfire on Michelle Beadle. I can't believe I'm defending Stephen A. Snitch here. But there was people that came on. OGD Wade said, imagine if someone prays for her downfall. Michelle Beadle show sucked so bad, Stephen A. took over a time slot. ESPN sucks, but come on now. If you're not religious, you don't get to pray. Sit down, Beadle. She's mad because she got Stephen A. suspended and Stephen A. got the last laugh. This is funny, right? Now, when they talk about suspended, I remember around the Ray Rice situation, when Ray Rice was seen hitting his now wife in the elevator, and she was knocked out. And Stephen A. Smith said something I would have told my daughters and my nieces too, right? We're going to handle Ray Rice. Let the men handle the men. But for the women, he spoke as a man. And he said, listen, No man should ever put his hands on you, especially in that type of manner, right? But if you can prevent certain things, if you can prevent it, right? Try not to argue so much or get up in the face or swing on the man. If you see the man being belligerent and it's going a certain way, try your best to de-escalate and get out of there to where you can get somewhere safe before it gets this way. Man, Michelle Beadle went crazy on him, and a lot of women went crazy, and it got real ugly, right? Y'all remember this?
You. And here's what I mean by that. We keep talking about the guys. We know you have no business putting your hands on a woman. I don't know how many times I got to reiterate that. But as a man who was raised by women, see, I know what I'm going to do if somebody touches a female member of my family. I know what I'm going to do. I know what my boys are going to do. I know what I'm going to have to remind myself that I work for the worldwide leader. I'm going to have to get law enforcement officials involved because of what I'm going to be tempted to do. But what I've tried to employ the female members of my family, some of who you all met and talked to and what have you, is that, again, and this is what I've done this all my life, let's make sure we don't do anything to provoke wrong actions. Because if I come or somebody else come, whether it's law enforcement officials, your brother, or the fellas that you know, if we come after somebody has put their hands on you, it doesn't negate the fact that they already put their hands on you. So let's try to make sure that we can do our part in making sure that that doesn't happen. Now, you got some dude.
Now, Michelle Beadle, in true, you know what, fashion, you know, at that time, her response was, Michelle Beadle, ESPN colleague at the time, was amongst the most prominent critics. She took to Twitter, now X, to express her disgust, tweeting, I was just forced to watch this morning's first take. I'll never feel clean again. I'm not aware that I could provoke my own beating. She further stated, violence isn't the victim's issue, it's the abuser. To insinuate otherwise is irresponsible and disgusting. I totally disagree with that. And see, this is the problem that we have when we talk about accountability. I have daughters and sons, right? And nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. But I tell my daughters, be careful with your mouth. Because even if you run in your mouth, he still shouldn't put his hands on you. But there's certain things, you know, when you're going a little too far, to stop. Stop. And there's nothing wrong as a man telling a woman that. And I tell all you men out there listening, don't be ashamed. Don't listen to this foolishness that she's saying. Don't be ashamed as a father to tell your daughters that. Listen, get out of harm's way till you get to me where I can protect you. Don't be somewhere up in the man's face acting belligerent and crazy and doing all this. He still don't have a right to touch you, but that don't mean that he won't do it. That don't mean that he won't do it. So don't listen to that. What she said is pure feminism foolishness. Foolishness, right? So Marcellus Wiley, he got wind of this. He got wind of this, right? And he basically was saying that she's basically jealous because she was the next up and Steven basically surpassed her. And I'm saying this to all my women subscribers out here that actually supports me. Nobody has a right to touch you. But as a father of a black woman that's been married for 25 years, 25 years, 2 daughters, 2 sons, 6 grandchildren, I tell all the women in my family, listen, you have a right to say what you want to say. But you can't predict what might happen after you say those things. So sometimes de-escalate, be smart, de-escalate and get out of it, right? Because it may be too late by the time we get there if you don't. So that's all I'm saying. But let's look at what Marcellus Wiley had to say about this situation.
Is the king. He wears the crown right now. Michelle Beadle understands that more than anybody. You want to know why? Because she used to wear the crown as well. Did y'all hear? Yeah, I'm not working with that guy. And there was a time when they were like, all right, you ain't working with him. But when that time passes, oh, guess who wears the crown now? Stephen A. Smith, the day after, whoa, coming right in, swooping it up. So this is the spirit in which they have an issue. This is the resentment you can hear from Michelle Beadle, because Michelle Beadle's different than me. I am the type that think I must win. She's the type that, we just heard it, she wants Stephen A. Smith to lose, praying for his downfall, which to me is out of bounds, unnecessary roughness, 15 yards, repeat the down, okay? So I root for you at your best. I don't give a damn who you are, no what issue I have with you. I'm still a fan of you if I got a problem with you. I don't care. I want you at your best. Because guess what? I don't want you pulling up lame. I don't want you to say your hammy was sore. I don't want you to say, oh, there was some spirits against you. Nah. Light pole to light pole, me and you. No false starts. Your shoes tied, take your shoes off. Whatever you want to do, I want to beat you at your best. Because then I can sit there and feel good and saying, I won. But there's a difference. There's some people out there, Michelle Beadle sounds like one, who wants to win at all costs. So they root against you too. They want to win, yeah, but more importantly, they want you to lose. they root against you. Hook or crook, don't matter. I'm getting after you, right? And I'm not like that. And I don't think I'm holier than thou, as she even admits that there were times where she felt she was holier than thou and it cost her. So let's talk about that resentment that cost her, or now that she is living with. Because she feels like, and she certainly felt like, she lost her crown being true to herself, her principles, right? That's how she lost her crown. Okay, no. This ain't the end of that session, this therapy session. Sit back down on that couch. Let's go. Okay, so you feel like you lost your crown because you're true to yourself. But worse, you see someone, Stephen A. Smith, who got it by not being true to himself.
I'll say this. I agree 100% with her when she says that Stephen A. Smith sold out to corporations. But I don't agree with her saying that she prays for his downfall, because in the context, she's jealous because she wanted his position so she could sell out to corporations. She mad because they allowed the black man to sell out and not this W woman. She's crying wolf, right? She wanted that position. Listen, she's a true hater. She's a true hater, and she's crying W woman's tears, right? So Stephen better watch himself. He better watch himself, because this W woman is on your head. And every time you say something, she got something to say. Now, she was on the platform with all those W people going in on Stephen. Now, Stephen, at the end of the day, is still a black man. I don't like him. I don't like what he do. But I understand them W folks and what they do. They're mad. They're not mad at Stephen A. Smith for the same reasons that the black community is mad at Stephen A. Smith. They're mad at Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith is in a position that they wanted. That's why they mad at Stephen A. Snitch. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about this, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.